Excuse me, did you happen to see where the missing scholars went?
You mean the village keepers? Oh, let me think. When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road.
Okay.
Anything else?
The scholars that have gone missing. Have you seen them?
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, but honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past.
Do you also think Grandpa and the other...
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. You mean that nice man? He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. He happened to be staying near my house that day and was doing something with his hand. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back. Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others.
Gotcha. Thank you. Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently?
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. The last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared, despite my wife. And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough mora. That might explain why she's always mad at me.
Oh, thank you.
It was nothing. You're looking for him, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's no good. Well, once you found him, come by my place again and I'll go. I've known you since you were very young. So as far as I'm concerned, you're family.
Wow, what a nice... Okay, thank you.
Huh? Don't say anything for now. Isak, let's head over there.
Thank you. And sorry.
Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only true ruler of this land. I've never... Still, you say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's about to change around.
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting more deranged scholars. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connection between insanity and the Scarlet... Isn't it a sign of the Scarlet King's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared? If you ask me, they must have been chosen as the final sacrifice for the Scarlet King.
Huh. Now that you say it, that does make some sense.
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the...
Huh?
Who are you?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Yeah! Bro, this guy's something else. Just look at...
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I am...
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about the Scarlet...
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madmen will disappear and that the Scarlet King will return to this land.
Hey, go on. Keep talking.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. They keep sending us all their mad scholars and won't let... Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all praying for the Scarlet King's speedy return. Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under the Scarlet King and fight for a share of the glory.
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more.
Got it. At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking, but then all the mad scholars vanished without a trace. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else around here is all...
The people here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Where is this radical person?
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village.
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare lie to you. He's really...
Sounds like you're not too close with the radical.
No, of course not.
I have many ways to stop you from talking. So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this.
Yes, got it. We'll do
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying. He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that. Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have told him that before.
I heard that.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places. Very well.
Isak! I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there.
Join the Aramites and embrace a wonderful new life.
Grandpa, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa. This is where Grandpa usually stays. There sure isn't much here.
No.
Incense? Please don't say it's the... But are you okay? Are you getting dizzy?
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the day. And then he gave us a lot...
So, you know...
Huh? You know him too?
Yes. Now that I concentrate...
Wait, surely Tainari didn't let...
No. No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house? In the forest. From a scholar.
What are you looking for, Sino?
Here it is. Take a look right here.
Paimon?
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, from the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. The scent is quite faint, but still extant. The footprints head in the direction of
But who would come looking for Grandpa?
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent? Hey! What's wrong with liking good food?
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn.
No,
So someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Still, what are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all the mad scholars have something?
It's highly likely.
please, you have to save my Grandpa.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak.
Let's head to Aru Village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here. After that...
Right. The darker fabric definitely looks a lot better.
We're back, Candace. We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like everyone's friends already.
Oh, Dia's here too.
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
reasonably.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating with you. I guess he must have gone off on his own.
Did you find out anything useful? I see. So someone used a kind of incense to leave the exiled
The resurrection of the Scarlet King? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No seller would be able to, not to mention making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to make or sell something that requires that kind of effort. It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting them.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we go back to the academia and
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. But today, you've got me on your team. So you get it. Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two about these
If Paimon remembers correctly, the leader of the...
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Enger, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook. The whole lot of them are known around these parts. These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in the Scarlet King. Way they see it, the Scarlet King's resurrection is their only chance at Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway, that's...
Yeah! You're amazing! You really know this place inside and...
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every mora I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable investment.
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying right...
Why?
Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about you has already gotten out. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. You survive on making connections. Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But that also makes it a whole lot easier for me to gain the locals' trust. I need to go around and ask some questions, but it'll be difficult if you...
Fine.
Good. Then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the Mad Scholars have been taken. Sino, you'll have to stay in the village and continue
All right, sounds like a plan. Well, here we are again.
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel. How can a wall this tall even exist?
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms? It was only after I grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that can be used and discarded at their whim. We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Nothing more. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. Geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate. Even though the academia knows very well that we're human.
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Hey, Thea.
No, not at all. Besides, we're here to procure information.
Yep, we gotta catch those.
Shh! Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone I know. Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean you don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You here for a drink too?
Zaki. Finally, a friend.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land? Hello, hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you put it? Drinking buddy?
We've had drinks together a few times. You could say we go back. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall. So, Dia, are you looking for someone?
Yeah. Have you seen Enger, Delavar, or Jabari recently?
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking together just to...
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested. Know where I could find him?
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time making ends meet these days, so you came here to help him out?
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together? Besides, Delavar and his friends have muscle. They'd be a good fit for escorting the goods.
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can take you to him. Come with me.
Who's not at the hotel today?
on the agenda? We're way behind schedule.
Are we there yet?
Yep, this is the place.
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on, a wild stab in the dark. You're like lambs to the slaughter.
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment you set foot there. Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the Academia to look for the missing scholars.
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. Paimon knew leaving Sino behind was a mistake!
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who do you think you are? You really thought we'd fall for your little business deal nonsense?
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. Those of us who hang around the tavern have stronger bonds than you think. But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see than the desert folk overthrowing the Academia.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar. And Engar, you're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us followers of the Scarlet King despise the most.
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand that the Scarlet King is greater than the Dendro Archon. Little did I know, you don't deserve to join us.
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless rumors. Anything else I'm missing out on?
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora. Pathetic. You're all like a pack of street rats.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend.
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Just following orders.
By royal decree, rest and rebuild. Access denied.
I'll take my leave. You're open.
Stabilize!
Born of ice and frost.
Impossible! How could you?
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling... I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I... And of course, you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real. That so-called flame main is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what you thought, right?
Ugh. You lied in the village because you figured.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Okay, that should be all of them.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in—
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out in—
Oh, but instead of catching them right away—
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher—
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Edgar, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, or alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how the Scarlet—
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then— That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical—
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my—
Wow! What a genius idea!
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook.
So, that thing you were saying before—
About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora. And that—
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the—
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in the Scarlet King, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards any—
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village. This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch.
Candace, do you need it?
Candace will be okay on her own. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the—
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time?
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler. As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see—
You heard the question. Now answer me. You heard the question.
Candace is an expert at dealing with people like this. All we have to do—
Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
Hey, Dia!
Right on time. We'll know any moment.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we...
Well, Paimon thinks you...
Really?
Oh, Sino's here.
Yes, I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation tech.
Oh, you mean you taught...
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Candace, where... Whoa, you look furious.
Do I? Huh. What gave it away?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community. You come here to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal.
Mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may both be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of the people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish a war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you...
We understand. We're sorry. I'll tell you everything I know. Please, just let us go.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about the Scarlet King's resurrection. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in the Scarlet King's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can get anything we wish for.
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll help facilitate the resurrection. I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3.
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything.
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from... You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secrets. No way. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face. He calls himself...
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu.
Smooth.
Okay,
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village keepers away. It strikes me now that this secretive character...
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back? We aren't gonna...
Not the academia again.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in their plans likely... Regardless, our top priority...
You're right. Isak is still waiting.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and...
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready. Let's get some food in us, and then where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have
You were gone for ages, and now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself? Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you...
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname! There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. It makes it so hard.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru village and keep searching for the truth of...
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we thought that we might as well take the search elsewhere. Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with...
All Hatham. You haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Yeah, you're all talk!
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Really? Paimon doesn't...
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that...
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But, before that, you need to understand...
What does that mean?
How do you think the residents of Aru village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell...
You mean, some of them like...
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people... Remember what Candace said? Most people in Aru village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That's because, by contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why I'm glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability into the equation.
Those eyes, those fierce like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the radical.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them, even though they act.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then why would she...
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
We're on it!
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but...
Huh? What do you mean?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to...
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in the Scarlet King. I don't belong to either side, and neither side would want me.
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is a traitor?
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how I behave. I'll always be suspected of having... Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life in peace. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone. Until now.
You can tell them. I'm sure he'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Alhaitham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
There are ghosts?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It comes from far away in the distance, and always carries very raw emotion. It used to be louder and more frequent, but ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often, And when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But, because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Yeah, let's go! So there are a ton of sellers at the Vinelaza Fest. Should be some pretty cool stuff to check out, right? Let's go and browse while we still have a chance.
behind schedule.
Sounds good to me.
Solidified.
Oz, reveal.
Next on the agenda.
Oh, is this the place? It's in terrible shape. And there's sand everywhere. Monsters, watch out!
We're waiting.
Gather. Stabilize.
Access denied. Next on the agenda.
Allow me.
No touching. Blaze over.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected. Super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than... They look super serious. We gotta stay on our A game, too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take a look.
Hey,
Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. What are you eating?
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural...
So,
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya. How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey, Paimon's your Tibet travel guide. Paimon knows plenty of useful stuff. And anyway, it's not Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated. Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
there it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought, there's a hidden structure.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this one. Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms around here. Let's keep exploring.
We're way behind schedule. Huh?
Stabilize!
By royal decree, rest and rebuild.
This world is full of unsolved...
Sounds good to me.
Reveal. Allow me.
Into the wind. Propagate!
As per our contract.
What shall we...
Allow me. Look, there's someone over there. Good idea. Let's approach him.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his... Also, why is he the only...
Didn't expect to see him.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the Academia.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holds up in a...
No. And Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life. Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with...
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught. The symptoms are identical.
Huh? What?
Allow me to jog your memory. Rick, don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh, now that you mention it, they're acting the same way.
Correct. The Academia is behind all of this. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the Academia spread a false rumor of the Scarlet King's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals need, as well as being a life for the desert many would give, even if complications arise. The notion of an Academia plot...
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chiefs, but there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the Academia that brought the scholars to Aru village in the first place?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. The scholars' identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiled. An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, if you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing...
Resource? For...
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into...
Extracted? You mean...
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's entire... Perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night, when no one...
So, the human brain...
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their Anyway, judging by Razak's state, The contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But, or perhaps, his curiosity got the better of him.
Hyman's a little confused.
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just... However, I can't help but wonder. What do they seek to gain from divine... The academia is... I've spent quite...
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge. But I'm not particularly interested in gods. So extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress, then the academia may as...
Sounds like you're really against all...
Of course. The academia's act, whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and order that govern everything in the world will be destroyed. This matter needs to be corrected. Just like fixing a typo in...
Wait! Didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for...
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little... There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about...
Probably not.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or... The divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake...
Hyman's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the academia, but you're not...
You're Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being... Uniqueness is also an asset.
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shan...
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's nothing more to it than that. He won't last long if we leave him here. We'll work out our next step after we return to our...
Healthy body, healthy mind.
We're back!
You must be tired. You should rest and take some water.
What's the situation?
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar Hospital served as the Academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru Village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on their trail. Why is that?
Yeah, why is that?
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is, Sino's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Alhaitham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point, but I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the Academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The Academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The Academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the Academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
You're saying that the Academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
The Akasha is capable of computation. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination. It knew all of this.
It predicted my every move.
The Academia has been watching you longer than you think.
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the Academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! Paimon gets it now! If the Academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place would be... that's...
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After us!
Please, wait! I want to go too!
You want to go too? If so, you have to promise you'll stay safe.
I want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be...
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Paimon feels like... So, where do we go from here?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll up our
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay. So, we have...
These are likely fragments of an Academia-developed device, something akin to a headset. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way because there are device fragments scattered around here. Let's split up and search the area. Chance...
Is this what we're searching for?
This is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
How did it end up buried in the sand? That can't have... They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left...
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been entirely covered by... I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Ugh, of course it is.
voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us.
You're one of us. We would not.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it.
Dia? Why would you? Dia!
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? What?
Well, look who's here.
This
You've betrayed Aru village.
So, this is the great General Mah. Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself. I have the means and methods.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people should know.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing could deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting the Scarlet King. Once our Lord of
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of the Scarlet King. Whether I live by the edge of the sword or...
It's not too late yet. The village Mad scholars aren't gonna bring the Scarlet King back to...
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the Eremites? Your Eremites, which you've worked so hard for?
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon, with these scholars in our...
Ridiculous. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also against the academia, but neither of them are as...
They look more like pawns of the academia to me. Why would I listen to anything the people of Greater Lord Rukkhadevada have to say? Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed the Scarlet King.
It's impossible to communicate with. Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips. But I could be persuaded to take their place as your next... These scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe, and will be a much...
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade...
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept my offer.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you and...
Well, that would be bad. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars. Perhaps...
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining...
You are the scribe. What do you have against the academia?
Not all desert dwellers believe in the Scarlet King, and the same applies to the academia. Why must all knowledge seekers approve of the academia's way of...
You academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall. I've made myself clear enough. I won't listen to another word from the Dendro Archons.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never...
You know you're making a dangerous decision.
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon at their word, but what about me?
We've known each other for years.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right... Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the academia, you need to steel yourself.
An arm from the Flame Mane. You've piqued my interest. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs. And mercs don't tend to live long.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back...
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate! He just
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Rahman, I'm holding up my end.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to
do it.
Dia! Run!
Stop!
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my own finger. You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave.
Phew. I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost your minds? What if he'd actually cut your arm off?
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a limb, you gotta double down.
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes of them. If it came down to it, you would not lose.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more where they can. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there. Wiping them out would do.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and listened.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa, so
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up. Today was just a trial run. Noon tomorrow is gonna be the hard part.
You need to watch out for this.
You're all here so early.
Looks like we have everyone here. Isak, are you sure you want to come with us?
I'll watch from a safe distance. Dia.
Okay, let's.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that today,
Fine.
way behind schedule.
By royal decree, rest and rebuild, born of ice and frost.
Beautiful treasures are a cause for great happiness.
Solidify!
Oz, reveal thyself!
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda. Perhaps whoever left these behind was also fulfilling a contract. We're way behind schedule.
That's close enough.
You are not welcome here.
Next on the agenda... Oh, we're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda... We're way behind schedule.